statement and we'll take questions.
Thanks, Mike. We have 5 practices left, so we'll practice Wednesday, Thursday, we're off Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we'll tip off on Tuesday night for doubleheader with the men. Men have Bethune-Cookman. We have Rio Grande Valley, turn around, Alabama State on the 11th. That night we will be putting Courtney Williams jersey up in the rafters, also Hall of Fame weekend. Then we take off to Tennessee on the 14th, play Tennessee on the 15th, and get ready to go to Bahamas for 4 games. Like where our team's at right now, we didn't do any scrimmages or exhibition games. I just think right now, with us, with everybody back and the additions, I think playing against ourselves is better than playing against anybody else right now, So also in regards to still being careful with the COVID situation, I just think there was more risk than reward doing any close scrimmages or anything like that. We didn't do any last year. We've had 3 scrimmages against ourselves and then 1 against our male scrimmage team. So that's where we're at.
Coach, after last year, you're not going to sneak up on anybody. They know who you are now. Is that an advantage?
Well, I think that's a big reason why we scheduled the way we scheduled in November and December. We knew that it's one thing we could control. I knew we had a really good team coming back. We had some really good pieces, and we needed to be challenged in November and December. But I don't think we've been doing a lot of sneaking up on anybody the last 8-10 years. When you go to the tournament, everything goes well. This will be 7 NCAA tournaments in the last 10 years. A lot of people would like to have done that in the last 10 years.
You have a lot of talent coming back from last year's team. You also have some new players. How's it all meshing together from a chemistry standpoint or personnel standpoint to incorporate the new with a lot of returning talent?
I think everything's shaken out now with we're only going to have 2-3 more practices. We're concerned about ourselves. The final 2 will be getting ready for Grand Valley and Alabama State. Right now, Lisa Pinzon's our starting point guard. Ariel Wilson is a backup. 2 starting wings. It's Harvey and Saniki. Alvarez has gone through some injuries, so she hasn't had the opportunity to catch up to those 2. I think Sarah Guerrero right now has stepped into being that 4th wing, but she's in front of Alvarez because Alvarez hasn't practiced. You got Manunga at the 4, Leverett at the 5, Dulce at the 5, and right now Patience Williams backing up Manunga. Bermejo's been out for about 3 weeks. She could be a kid that's in that role, backing up Manunga or being that 4th wing. So from a depth chart standpoint, we're pretty deep. We got a lot of choices. We got a lot of different ways we can play, but that's where we're at right now.
Is the distribution of minutes and how you deploy everyone, is that been a debate in your head? Just how do you move these pieces around? How do you do it?
Yeah, that's going to be the toughest job. You got 4 really, really good wings, but there's only 80 minutes there. Well, Saniki and Harvey are going to play a lot. How much the other 2 wings are going to play, we'll see. We need to take Pinzon from playing 38 to 40 minutes away, getting her down to 30, 31. Hopefully Ariel Wilson can be that guy all year long that's just steady and then can give her that. Right now with Manunga and Williams and Dulce and Shea, we got 4 very talented guys that can defend in there, that can score interiorly and also defend. Betancourt has not had a good preseason and practice because she's been hurt. There's a lot of things in our roster that some of these guys haven't been able to control.
Coach, any significant rule changes you have to deal with this year?
No, not really. I guess we get a chance to appeal a couple more things, restricted area, and also, someone takes a shot and the guy going through a screen. Just 2 different appeal stuff, but I think that same things will come into play. Points of emphasis, traveling, hands-on ball handlers, restricting movement away from the ball. Post play is always a point of emphasis, so I don't think nothing will change too much.
Coach, they moved the 3-point line back.
Yeah, they
Good
did,
game.
but we shoot them back there anyway.
So you don't see that happening, you kind of go back all year.
Got 9 internationals. They shoot it from behind there anyway, so that didn't affect us, so. And we got an opportunity to paint the floor a different color inside. That looks nice.
You mentioned you guys are gonna have Courtney Williams jersey lit to the rafters. WBA All-Star, obviously. I mean, just what has she meant to this program? Not even while she was here, but just after she's graduated, the things she's done pro.
You know, Courtney had a great career here, and she was Scholar Athlete of the Year also. So she did unbelievable things in the classroom and in the community on the basketball court. She played at the highest level overseas, EuroLeague, got drafted in WNBA draft by Phoenix and went to Connecticut, now Atlanta. You know, we'll see where she ends up at her next stop in WNBA next season. So, but as a Bull, she takes pride in where she went to school, and I thought when she was here, she represented our school in a great way.
Coach, first time in a while, you didn't have to face Connecticut twice during the season. Advantage or disadvantage for your team?
Well, usually we play them 3 times. You know,
Yeah.
if you play them 3 times, it was a good year because you played them twice during the regular season and then in the conference tournament. So I believe there were only 2 years that we don't. I believe it was only a couple of years that we didn't play them 3 times while they were in the league. We could see them in. A good possibility we could see them in the Bahamas, in the Atlantis. So.
When you talk about your scheduling, you know, Tennessee, potentially UConn, Stanford, I mean, this is like the who's who of women's basketball. And I know there's probably some people that are saying, what is he doing? Is it crazy? You know, and obviously you have a method of your madness here. So
Yeah, I'm crazy in my own way, without a doubt.
What's been the effect of putting these teams on the schedule, the reaction of your players and your fans, and also just the reality of the competition you're going to face, the whole ball of wax?
So kids understand, they know, they know what type of schedule you're scheduling. I believe the guys that are in our program want to play that type of schedule. If they don't, we did a bad job recruiting and they shouldn't be in our program. So, our guys want to play the best, and be challenged against the best. And that starts with our recruiting. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to get tested. But the method behind this was to make sure we give our team and our players an opportunity to give us a chance that if we do win the league and we win the conference championship, we're not an 8-9 seed, right? We have a lot of opportunities in November, December to, if we're successful, right? You got some pretty good quality wins that will help you down the road when it comes down to, the people sit in the room and talk about where they're going to seed folks.
You mentioned you guys can play a lot of different ways. You could give a 4 guards with Cappy bigs. Is there a way to get all 3 bigs on the floor? Because it looks like someone's going to have to sit out every, Shea might not even start, for example.
If you do, we're going to have to play zone. I don't think we'll be doing that much.
Can you tell us a little bit about UTRGV? Let's talk about the other opponents, and I don't really know much about that.
The Vaqueros.
Yes.
Well, they're in Rio Grande Valley. They're in Texas. They're a lot different than they played last year. They were more of a dribble drive team. We're going to have to do a good job keeping them in front of us. We're not going to see much tape because we're their first game, and you're not going to. They're going to be. We don't know what they're going to run. So you got to be really good. I think once the season gets going, one thing we're really good at is game preparation and taking things out of folks. But that's why these 30 practices in 40 days are so good, that you got to be able to defend against anything. Flares, pin downs, cross screens, diagonal screens, dribble drive, right? You got to be solid in defensively, defending without fouls. Your help rotation's got to be great. I think these first 2-3 games, the one thing that we have to be great at is game adjustments. right? Our base defense is there, how we're gonna guard folks. So, you know, there's not too much that we know about them, and we're not gonna know about it. We gotta trust that the 12 team workouts we did in the 30 practices, of those 42 practices, our defense, we've done a good enough job to get us ready for whatever they're gonna run.
Coach, with the penalties that were handed down Friday, it sounds like your team and you personally are going to lose some practice time this year. How does that tighten the screws just to, you know, prepare for each game?
I don't think it's going to affect us much. This has been something that's been going on for a long time. If you read the report, this was stuff that happened 3-4 seasons ago, right? So we self-imposed last year. We knew this was coming, where we didn't have any support staff available to coach or be a part of practice. They were at practice, but they couldn't do anything. So the next thing, this summer I had to attend a regional NCAA compliance course. We did that. And then I've already done 8 hours for support staff in regards to not being at practice. So I got to miss 15 hours of practice after the first game. It doesn't mean I'm going to miss 1 hour of practice. It could be 10 minutes at this practice, 10 minutes tomorrow, 10 minutes the day after. So strategically, I think I can manage the 15-hour penalty.
With the veteran nature that you have to this team, does that kind of set you up for success under these guidelines?
Yeah, I think, without a doubt. Listen, when Friday came out, anytime the NCAA comes in and that type of thing comes down, definitely it's not good for the athletic department, for our football program, for our women's basketball program. We've taken the appropriate measures in front of it, as far as getting our Carol log hours with the free throws, with the extra conditioning, that kind of stuff fixed. So it's something, we made some mistakes. I take full ownership for them, and we move on.
For Elisa, coming off the most improved player, what's the next step for her as your guys' starting point guard?
Well, I find it hard to believe that she's not one of the top 20 point guards in the country. So she couldn't control that list. So now go out and have the season you're going to have. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to play against some of the best guards in the country, best teams in the country. So we'll see how it shakes out at the end of the year. Same with Sydney Harvey, and how either Leverett or Dulcie didn't make the center list. So
Just gives you more fire.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, you guys have done a lot in the postseason in the last decade or so. As you approach these non-conference teams, is it hard to get them to play you? Do they want to play you? It seems like some people would know that, hey, we're getting into a tough deal here playing these guys.
it's getting tougher and tougher. 5 of our games, okay, so 3 of those games, 6 of our games this year, we're very fortunate to get Stanford, and that's just we counted it as a regular season game, but we always play in an exempt tournament, so you can only play in some of these tournaments once every 4 years, so we know we're going to get 3 good games there, and then we'll choose another tournament that we're going to get 2 really good games. So that's 5. We got lucky with Stanford. So the tough part is the home and home situation. We're playing Tennessee, but that was part of the SEC challenge. We've had some really good home and home contracts in the past with Louisville, Ohio State, Oklahoma, right? But next year we're starting the home and home with Alabama, also NC State. Alabama at home, NC State on the road, and then we're trying to get one more football 5 opponent, as we call it. But yeah, it's not getting any easier, but I think that's where some relationships come into play, and hopefully we can continue that.
And on the flip side, for people, you're a good
person
to have on their schedule too, right?
Right, because you're getting, I don't know what our net or RPI has been, but we've been consistently in the top 30 every year out of 360 Division I schools. So we play a home and home, a loss to us is not gonna hurt you as far as in the grand scheme of things.
We good? All right.
All right, guys, thank you.
very much. Everyone appreciate it.